Hi, I am Siddharth from CSID branch. Here I am here to tell about important aspects for planning presentation. What is presentation? A presentation is a means of communication that can be adapted to various speaking situations such as talking to a group, addressing a meeting or briefing a team. A presentation can also be used as a broad term that encompasses other speaking engagements, such as making a speech at a wedding or getting a point across in a video conference. To be effective, step by step preparation and the method and means of presenting the information should be carefully considered. A presentation requires you to get a message across to the listeners and will often contain a persuasive element. It may, for example, be a talk about the positive work of your organization, what you could offer an employer, or why you should receive additional funding for a project. Here's the 5 tips to planning a powerful presentation. First one, know your audience. When defining your audience will help you create a presentation best suited to their needs. Understand how your topic is relevant and how it will benefit their needs. Know what they expect to learn and take away from their time with you. Don't assume the audience thinks like you. Demographic biases can often separate our ways of thinking. The more you know them, the more effective you can make the presentation. Consider the audience level of expertise so you don't lose their attention by speaking over their heads or insult them by presenting basic knowledge. Executives may be more eager to learn about how your topic will impact their business growth, project, and prioritization. If you were unfamiliar with the audience, speak to the meeting organization before you begin planning your presentation. Ask who will be attending and what they hope to learn. If you are presenting to a client or prospect, research the company, leaders, and organizational priorities online as much as possible. And the second point is scope the topic. Content is critical in making your presentation a meaningful use of time. Content must be correct, factual, and well organized. Ideally, you would have the opportunity to understand your content before giving a presentation. However, sometimes we must present on the topics outside of our comfort zones. In this case, take time to research everything you can about what you will discuss. Arm yourself with data that supports your message and helps provide answers to the most likely questions. In this case, take time to research everything you can know about what you will discuss. Arm yourself with data and support your message. It's not enough to have historical knowledge of topic, but how the knowledge will benefit the audience. When you understand their needs, you can tailor your research and fact gathering accordingly. Ensure your data is factually accurate and easy cited, especially if you are presenting to an audience that is well versed in your presentation topic. Nothing can undermine your credibility more than citing incorrect data as factually accurate. And the third point is choose the method. How you deliver a presentation is a critical piece of message itself. Your goal must be to engage your audience and influence them to act upon what you have to say. Invest time choosing a presentation method that resonates with your audience, maintains their attention, and clearly articulates your data. Your method of giving a presentation must connect with your listeners. Knowing your audience and scoping a topic is essential to earning their attention, and choosing the best delivery method is key to keeping their focus. It's not just about the message itself, but the way you deliver the message that impacts the others. Design a captivating visual aid that is sure to hold your audience's attention. Your slides aren't meant to be front and center. Your keep the slides simple so your audience keeps their focuses on you rather than the visual aid. Your message is more important than the slides. Refrain from using too many bullet points when you can discuss the facts aloud instead. Keep animation to a minimum. You don't want audience members to lose focus and become distracted by the frames, swipes, noises, and movements. Lastly, less is more. Research shows text is counterproductive to learning. Visuals makes strong impact on listeners, aiding in memory retention. Don't use 10 words if 5 will do. Keep the data on your slide short and use powerful images to make an impact. And the fourth one is organize the content. Once you have set up your slides and begin practicing, you may find the content needs recognition. You may discover information flows better in a different sequence. Through the first one, use the slide sorting feature to change the slide order as necessary. Mindfully considering the sequence and a flow of data will also help you remember where everything is throughout the presentation. In case you need to jump ahead to answer a question, you will have a better idea of where the information is. And the fifth one, and the fifth main point is protect the time. Nothing can lose an audience attention quite like that of presentation running over time. Since professionals spend so much time in the meetings, they are likely operating on a tight schedule and have somewhere else to be. When you practice your presentation, time yourself. On rule of thumb is to ensure your presentation can fit within 80% of time allotted. If your presentation has an 1 hour allotted, practice giving it in 45 minutes. This ensures this is adequate time left for questions. It also provides wiggle room in case key personnel are late or conversation run long. Keep your answers clear and concise. Don't elaborate on a response when it isn't necessary. Brevity ensures time for every question. When you prepare for your next presentation, consider the experience your audience desires. Here, the main important thing is the body language. Here we can see the body language which we required when we are presenting. The body language can make all the differences between the dull static presentation and a dynamic engaging one. Of course, body language has many different elements, so we have broken into five important categories. First one is facial expressions, eye contact, posture, gestures, position, and movement. Here, first one, facial expressions. The first and most obvious thing to remember is to make sure that you are using your face at all. Giving a presentation with a blank face without any particular facial expression is like speaking in a monotone. No matter how great your content is, your audience will not be engaged. Even some simple steps from the outset, such as opening your eyes wider, raising your eyebrows a little, and smiling, can make a huge difference in setting a tone for your presentation. You can also reset at different points during your presentation to make more sure that you haven't fallen back into a dull resting expression and to re-engage your audience attention. Of course, putting rehearsed facial expressions into your speech mechanically is never going to be effective. And what you do with your face should look natural. The important thing is to be attentive to what you are saying. If your facial expressions are in the line with the tone of your words, then the information you are presenting will come across more clearly and you will seem more sincere. And the second one is eye contact. Make sure you look at everyone. Staring at same spot throughout a presentation is visually dull and unengaging for your audience. Make sure that by the end of your presentation you have made contact with everyone at least. That might mean every individual if you have a small audience, or every section of a crowd if you have a bigger audience. Don't be afraid of eye contact. Prolonged eye contact can make people nervous, but that's because it's so powerful. You may be perceived as aggressive or bullying. A brief glance, however, suggests that you are monitoring their expression as you speak to them, and thus that you care about how your message is being received. While it may be tempting to find a spot to stare down the back wall, it was always better to try and make a personal connection with members of your audience. But remember, don't stare. No one wants to feel comfortable or they are being put on the spot. Keep your gaze moving and engage as many people as possible. Don't slouch. In almost all presented situations, your posture should be straight, upright, and open. This will make you look and feel more comfortable, and it will invite your audience in rather than pushing them away. If you are not sitting or standing upright, it suggests that you have to say is not particularly important to you. Don't be tense. It's important to look and feel relaxed during a presentation. If you are standing upright but look rigid, it won't make a good impression. No matter how nervous you may feel, a speaker who seems to be afraid of his audience will not win their trust. Pause and take deep breath before you begin, and remind yourself to relax at different points throughout the presentation. Do think about your audience. A formal presentation to a board of a company is very different to interactive talk with school children. While you still need to be upright, open, and relaxed in all situations. Remember that different situations require different levels of formality. Do be adaptable. If you are sat down or have a lectern for your presentation, don't hold on to them for support or let them get away in the way. You should have an open and communicative posture no matter what the specific setup is. Be prepared to adapt to unexpected situations. If you want or addressing a large audience or being recorded, you may need to use a microphone. This this may mean you have to remain at lectern, or you have to hold a microphone in one hand, which has restrict your gestures. And the fourth one is gestures, varied facial expressions, eye contact. A good posture will put you well on the way the presentation success. But if you stand still without moving any other part of your body, it can create a very strange impression. On the other hand, over rehearsed or exaggerated hand gestures can be off putting and look unnatural. A happy medium is needed. Remember, the purpose of using gestures when giving a presentation is to make your message clearer and more interesting. In short, your gestures should mean something. For example, if you are making a contrast between big and small, you can use hand gestures to represent this. If you are giving a numbered list, you can show the numbers with your hand so that the people eyes and ears are engaged. Alternatively, if you want to address the audience directly, you can gesture towards them. If you have a PowerPoint slideshow or other visual aids, use gestures to draw people's attention to them. If you have a particular point in which one of the key messages of your presentation, you may want to make your gestures more exaggerated as you work up to the point. In this way, you can communicate to the audience which of the things you have to say matter most of you. Fifth one is the position and movement. This is the last this last area is more variable depending upon on the specific setup of your presentation. It will be clear straight away whether you have any flexibility over where you position yourself or movement around the space is even possible, but it's always worth considering. For example, if you are giving your presentation on a big stage, a bit of movement around the space can help the create visual interest and keep different parts of audience engaged. Likewise, if your presentation has interactive elements, you could move closer and slightly further back from the audience depending upon the whether they're involved or not. The golden rule is that any movement should be clear and directed. You should never look like you are just wandering around the stage. The five topics above given on overall sense as how you can use body language to make your presentation clearer, more engaging, and more powerful. Reminder that Remember that body language is not something you apply later to pre-written script, but a core part of how you present. It should go hand in hand with every other aspects of presentation, such as content and the tone of your words to create compelling over experience of your audience. By this, I conclude how we can present a presentation. Thank you.